video, you are going to learn why rental properties make no money in 2025, and they might be a terrible investment unless you do this one thing I'm going to mention at the end of the video. So stay tuned till the end because I'm going to reveal the one way you can actually make these things make sense and how the game has changed. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Greg Helbeck. Thank you for watching this video or listening to this podcast. I've been a real estate investor now for 10 years. And unlike most people, I actually share with you real information that is legit from experience. This is not regurgitated theory out of a book. I don't have a course to sell you. I don't have a mastermind to sell you. I just want to give these videos out. So number one, people can benefit from them. And number two, I can get people to send me deals, quite frankly. So these are the reasons why in 2025, rental properties just absolutely suck. Number one, the prices have gone through the roof. Doesn't matter where you are in America, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, Northwest, Northeast, it doesn't matter. The prices have gone through the roof. Back in 2015 and 16, it was pretty cheap to buy properties, right? Obviously, the market has appreciated tremendously over the last 10 years, and the prices have just gotten out of control. In Seattle, where I live, in New York, where I grew up, like everywhere, the prices have gone through the roof. And have rents rose? Yes. But have they rose in proportion to the amount of purchase price that it costs to buy a house? No. So because the prices have gone up so much, the cash flow is not there, or the cash on cash return is not there. It's very difficult to find a 10 cap property, which means you're going to make a 10% cash on cash return on your money if you bought a rental cash, unless you're willing to invest in like the worst neighborhood in the ghetto, which basically means the tenants are going to beat your property up and they probably won't pay you. Most rental properties, when I look at them, if you were to buy them straight cash with no mortgage, are making like 6 to 8%, which is terrible. And you got to deal with the liability of being a landlord. And you're going to have tenants bang your property up. And there's just all these issues with rental properties. So the way I look at that is like, well, if I can get a 6 to 8% return, if I, in theory, paid cash, I could take my money and put it in the stock market and get like 8 to 12% and have no liability and very little risk. If I wasn't a professional house buyer, I would definitely just do that. So the prices are out of control and it doesn't make a lot of cash flow. And, you know, it's just so expensive. That's reason number one. Now, reason number two, rentals suck right now is the interest rates are super high. So even if you're going to get a deal and you're going to get a decent price on it, if you put debt on that property, I mean, if you're getting a DSCR loan, it's like 7%. It's insane. And a lot of the times, the property doesn't cash flow after you pay for the mortgage. Like the rent might be $2,000, but your payment might be, $1,975. And it's like, you're not going to do that for $25 a month because it's really not $25 a month because you're going to have vacancy and repairs and maintenance and capital improvements. So because it's so expensive to buy these rental properties with the debt and the mortgage rates, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to buy rentals. And now this is where people are probably going to push back on me. But you can borrow, you can do creative finance. And yes, you can. But for the average person who doesn't like spend a bunch of money on marketing or doesn't know how to buy from wholesalers, they're kind of screwed now. They're really kind of screwed. Back in 2015, 16, even though all the way up to mid 2022, the prices were lower and the interest rates were low. In 2021, the prices were higher, but the interest rates were super low. So you were able to buy a property and get a 3% interest rate and you would actually be able to cash flow. But now you got high prices and high interest rates and rents really haven't caught up to that in most places. It's crazy. I'm still buying rentals because tax purposes, but they suck. They absolutely suck. They don't make any money. They're not going to change your life. They're not going to set you free. Everyone has this kind of myth of like, oh, I'm going to buy enough rentals to where I can live off of my rental income. And the only way that becomes reality is if you own these properties with no mortgage free and clear. And that's not easy to do. It takes 15 to 30 years to do that. Or you got to have millions to buy them in cash. But then if you have millions, you shouldn't buy rentals. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. Now, the only way they actually make sense, and I'm actually going to give you 2 ways they actually make sense. So reason number one is if you buy the property at a true wholesale price and you can do a BRRRR after you have paid a high interest rate and get all your money out, then it makes sense, assuming it'll make a profit. So if you can buy a $200,000 house for $100,000 and you have 50 cents on the dollar day one, yes, that makes sense because not only will it most likely cash flow, but you're going to have that equity there that you can do with whatever you want with later on down the road. So if you can get properties at true wholesale numbers, which is generally 50 cents on the dollar, yes, they still make sense. Of course, who wouldn't want to buy something for half off? And in our business, Velocity House Buyers, we do that a lot because we get good deals because we spend a lot of money on marketing and we have good relationships with people. Reason number two, they might make sense. If you are a real estate professional like me and you can buy rental properties and depreciate them to offset your active income, even if they don't cash flow that well, it still makes sense at that case. Because if you're going to spend money on the IRS or you're going to spend money on rental properties, I'd rather spend money on rental properties because at least you own an asset. You're not just giving your money to the government for them to do nothing with it. So if you're a real estate professional and you're making a good amount of money and you're going to have a pretty big tax liability, it might make sense to buy rental properties to offset your taxable income because without giving you CPA advice here, if you have your passive losses with your rentals, if you bonus depreciate them, that number can offset your active income and either lower your taxes or eliminate your taxes. And that makes sense. Those are the only two ways, in my opinion, they make sense in 2025. The times are a-changing. Rentals are not like they were on BiggerPockets in 2015. You got to wake up. You got to understand the new rules of real estate investing. In my opinion, flipping houses and wholesaling houses and being a real estate agent makes a lot more sense now than being a landlord unless you're willing to buy properties and you're able to buy properties at 50 cents on the dollar, or you're a real estate professional and you're going to use rentals as a tax shelter. That's basically it. I hope you got value from this video. I know it was a little negative, and I'm just being honest with you guys here. I'm being honest on this video, on this podcast. That's the truth, and that's really what's going on nowadays. Don't read a blog from BiggerPockets in 2015 because it is outdated. It's like that grandma special house you're trying to flip. It's original. It needs work. It needs upgrades. It needs new information, right? You got to understand where we are in the real estate cycle and how things work. So if you got value from this video or this podcast, do me a huge favor. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. If you're listening to this on audio, if you can share this audio with somebody else who needs to hear this message, it would really mean a lot to me. And I'll see. Oh, and by the way, if you're in Seattle or you're in New York or you're in Delaware and you have a house you want to wholesale to me or wholesale with me, send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com, and I'll see you on the next Real Estate Weekly Lesson.